Hey soldiers, we got a trial update for you on Sam Bankman Fried's testimony. He has been on the stand for 3 days. Today was cross-examination day. So this federal prosecutor she's putting the screws to him. Now we're going to go over some of his testimony. And I want you, once you hear what he has had to say, how he's reacting on the stand, I want you to put in the comments what you think about that. Put yourself in the shoes of a juror and weigh what he's saying, how he's acting, and let me know how you feel about that, whether or not that would be a positive or a negative for his prospects of a not guilty verdict. Okay. Now, here's another thing. Oh man, this young lady who is the prosecutor, I think this woman has had the brilliant idea to take advantage of one of Sam Bankman Fried's publicized weaknesses. Well, two, actually. Number one would be the fact that he couldn't stop running his mouth. Remember, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, CoffeeZilla on YouTube, Tiffany Fong on YouTube, and probably a lot of other people as well, interviewed him, got him to talk. All that stuff is admissible. Okay, you told the world. All right. So the prosecutor is taking advantage of that. Okay, weakness, his inability to avail himself of his right to remain silent, and then also the fact that his defense publicized that he was having trouble concentrating without his Adderall, and the prosecution, this brilliant federal prosecutor, has picked up on this and is using it to her advantage and to the advantage of the case that the government is attempting to make. So here we go. What happened today? Now, by today, I mean Monday, the 30th of October, 2023. Well, court's adjourned, obviously. At this point, we've got some information coming out of the day's testimony. Believe it or not, many of his answers were some derivation of, I don't recall. Now, that works very well for many politicians. Remember Bill Clinton? He did a lot of that. I don't recall. I just don't remember. What is I don't know what the definition of is. Okay? I did not have relations with that woman. Now, that can work. Obviously, it worked for Clinton. I don't know if it'll work so well when you are involved in a criminal trial and you are the defendant on the stand fielding questions from a very savvy prosecutor. So, again, weigh in the comments. Let me know what you think. But here we go. I don't recall. The guy's 31 years old. He could be facing the rest of his life in prison if he gets all of the years associated with all of the charges and in this trial. And to boot, this is not his only trial. He's going to have another one next year. So check out this vote. Well, it's a draw. It's a federal system, so they don't allow television cameras or anything like that. They rely on the court reporter, the artist. Now, if this is an accurate depiction of the way Sam Bankman Fried looks now, having been in jail for a little over a month, then he's aged quite considerably. Looks like he's also trimmed up his hair as well. Assistant U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon's pointed cross-examination continued after a break for lunch. So here's what's significant about that. Remember his defense team, and we did the video on it, they made the big deal about, hey, he needs his Adderall because as he goes throughout the day, he loses focus. Okay, that's what they said, right? So I don't think that there's been any, mistake here of dragging this thing out into the afternoon hours, okay? And then she does something that really makes me think that's exactly her strategy, is to have his weakness help her prove her case, prove the government's case. Now, she came at him with some short, rapid-fire questions about what he, Sam Bankman Fried, knew as the head of FTX versus what he stated publicly to reporters and also 2 members of Congress. Sassoon moved quickly from topic to topic. See what I'm saying there? You can't focus and you're jumping, that could be tough, right? She sought to poke holes in his testimony, which he offered under questioning from his lawyers. So she's trying to take that defense case and tear it up. This is an actual exchange. Sassoon says, "You called the shots as CEO, didn't you?" Sam comes back, "I called some of them." So let me just tell you, from the standpoint of me in that jury box, you called some of them. So which ones would you like me to believe you called? All the ones that were good? And someone else other than the CEO was responsible for all of the ones that didn't work out? Okay. Sassoon comes back. "You think you're a pretty smart guy." Sam Bankman Fried says, "In many ways. Not always." Okay. Armed with a litany of documents and audio clips from past interviews Bankman Fried gave to the media, Sassoon sought to illustrate that FTX's sister company, Alameda Research, was not subject to the same trading rules as other accounts on the FTX platform, though preferential treatment here, and that Bankman Fried hid that privilege from the public. Bankman Fried has largely offered vague responses, often stating that he does not recall conversations or statements he made in the past. The judge, Lewis Kaplan, has at least twice interjected to instruct Bankman Fried to just answer yes or no and stop trying to infer the prosecutor's intentions. "Sir, do you remember saying that in words or in substance?" Kaplan, the judge, said. After a pause, SBF, so Sam Bankman Fried, replied, "Referring to some particular things and time periods? Yes." So he's trying to be too cute by half. He thinks he's smarter than this team of prosecutors, and they're using that against him, okay? He's on the stand. He's vulnerable. When a defendant takes the stand, especially with the type of high caliber attorneys that he has, if they have decided that it is best for him to take the stand, trust me, they are very concerned that he's going to get a guilty verdict, okay? And look, I watched enough Perry Mason to know what I'm talking about, okay? "Do you recall saying FTX and Alameda acted separately?" Sassoon asked. "I'm not sure about the exact phrasing," he replied. Just before the court broke for lunch, okay, so they're going into lunch, Sassoon pressed Bankman Fried on the issue of Alameda's special treatment. "Sassoon, do you deny that Alameda could withdraw billions of dollars from the FTX exchange using a line of credit without being subject to the auto liquidation protocol?" That protocol was the rule for everybody else. Sam Bankman Fried says, "That might be right." Listen how vague he's trying to be with this. Sassoon, "You don't deny it?" He says, "I don't deny it. No." All right, so there you have it. He's also they've also got some conversations from Sam Bankman Fried where he called customers of the exchange dumb, MRFers, mother truckers. Okay, you can infer from there. Sassoon even referenced one of his conversations where he said to a reporter, "F the regulators," and that his advocacy for more regulation was just PR. Okay, so words coming back to haunt him, man, big time. So we will continue to follow this. Let me know in the comments what you think, guilty or innocent. Remember that movie Gladiator, when the guy Commodus, he would do like this, and is it innocent or not, rather not guilty or guilty based on what you've learned so far? Guys, I'll talk to you soon.